Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shah.
That he who blesseth himself in the earth shall bless himself in the God of truth. And he that sweareth in the earth shall swear by the God of truth, because the former troubles are forgotten, and because they are hid from mine eyes. For behold, I create new heavens and a new earth, and the former shall not be remembered, nor come into mind. But be ye glad and rejoice forever in that which I create. For behold, I create Jerusalem a rejoicing, and her people a joy. And I will rejoice in Jerusalem, and joy in my people. And the voice of weeping shall be no more heard in her, nor the voice of crying. There shall be no more thence an infant of days, nor an old man that hath not filled his days. For the child shall die 100 years old. But the sinner, being 100 years old, shall be accursed. And they shall build houses and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and eat the fruit of them. They shall not build, and another inhabit. They shall not plant, and another eat. Whereas the days of a tree are the days of my people, and mine elect shall long enjoy the work of their hands. They shall not labor in vain, nor bring forth for trouble, for they are the seed of the blessed of the Lord, and their offspring with them. And it shall come to pass that before they call, I will answer, and while they are yet speaking, I will hear. The wolf and the lamb shall feed together, and the lion shall eat straw like a bullock, and dust shall be the serpent's meat. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, saith the Lord.
Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shah.
The Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and he's getting ready to set us up over the planet Earth. And just how he used Esau to take over the earth, what he called manifest destiny, he's going to use his men, the children of Israel, his elect, with his son Yahweh Shai, leading with our king, King David, 12, the whole house of David, all right? They gonna take over the new world. They gonna take over the planet Earth and establish righteousness, just as Esau took over the earth and established wickedness. The children of Israel are gonna take it over and establish righteousness. That's how this thing gonna go, man.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
Barakatah Yahweh Shah. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh. Barakatah Yahweh Shah.
But the saints of the Most High shall take the kingdom and possess the kingdom forever, even forever and ever.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, and Kakodash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers. And peace and blessings, salutations to the hopeful lake out there pushing his word and truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, pushing them to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful lake, the believers, the listeners, whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into today, is everything in this world, is all right. Everything in this world is over. All right, everything is over except the truth. Everything about this society, everything that the so-called white man has built up. Okay, everything that he has made a trend and the culture. Well, all these things are finished. The religion, all right, like the different cultures, the fads, and that's why the scriptures tell us. And I want to start off with this and expound on it. This is 1 Corinthians 7:31. It says, and they that use this world, all right, and we are they that use this world, because we're here, we have to function. Okay, we have to get jobs, we have to network, we have to deal with people to an extent. We have to, move and shake in this society and do what we got to do. Okay, that's already understood. Okay, but everything that we do is based around this truth. Okay, we're not to the point. We're not. You see, when we really start to believe this thing, okay, everything else is a far second to this truth. Okay, and as we really tap into our office, okay, the Lord provides, man. Okay, the Lord provides. Okay, so scrambling and getting all caught up in this world and have to bend over and be missing the action, you ain't gotta do all that, man. Serve the Lord in sincerity, truth. Do what you gotta do as a man. Okay, everybody know what need to be done. Every man should know what needs to be done in this situation, man. So we use this world, all right, to maintain our situation, but we're not abusing it, man. Okay, we have no expectation in society, man. We shouldn't have any expectation, man, outside of our daily bread. Everything else is extra, man. But why how about Shema Shah? For anything beyond daily bread, for daily bread and anything beyond the Wadi how about Shema Shah, man. Okay? So we use this world. Okay? We're not set up to abuse with certain opportunities, that's in this world. Okay? We're here to use it, to do what needs to be done and get back to the business, man. Okay, this place is done. This place is finished, man. There's nothing to invest in. The only thing to invest in as an Israelite is the truth. Only thing to take serious and have an expectation in is the truth, man. Everything else is done. It's over. You see, it's over, man. This with Esau's getting ready to flip the switch and go digital, man. Okay, we're getting ready to lose these things, man. Okay. So we use the world, but we don't abuse it, man. And we see the world as being dismantled all around us, man. And Esau took the flavor out of life. Esau has took all the flavor out of life, man. Everything is dull, bland, played out, depressing. Okay, the only joy is prophecy happening in real time, man, and seeing brothers grow in this thing, man. Seeing the church be edified, man. That's the only joy. Outside of that, man, this place is finished, man. Okay? What the hell do you want out of this place? It has nothing to offer but death, confusion, chaos, violence, scams, okay, etc., man. All right. 1 Corinthians 7:31 again, it says, and they that use this world are not abusing it, for the fashion of this world passeth away. And let's get this word fashion. All right. The fashion of this world passeth away. Okay. All right, so you get the this word fashion, okay, in the Greek, which goes into schema. All right, schema. All right, in the Greek, and it goes into the habituous as comprising everything in a person, which strikes the senses, the figure, the bearing, the discourse, the actions, the manner of life. Okay, the manner of life. You see, everything that this devil has established as a society, as a culture, where he, considers to be civilization, and his ideologies, his belief systems. Okay, everything that this man has established, okay, is passing away because it's false, it's falsehood, it's wicked, and it's anti-Messiah. You see, the earth is going from anti-Messiah to pro-Messiah. All right. No, it's going from anti-Messiah to being ruled by Yahushua. It's going from anti-Yahushua to being ruled by Yahushua. Okay, and we're investing into the rulership of Yahushua. Okay, we should be going through the motions in the world, not going through the motions in the truth and investing in this world. No, we should be going through the motions in this world, all right, and investing in this truth, man. Okay, you see, the truth should get our first fruits of our energy. Okay, our focus, our attention. The truth should get the first fruits of that. Okay, and the world get the leftovers, man. And the Lord provides, man. How about Shema Shah provides, man? Okay, so let's go here. let's go from there. Let's get Matthew. You know, I said, of course. All right, you gotta do what you gotta do as a man. You don't just sit in the room, watch the news and do videos, and the rent falling in your lap. You know what gotta be done, man. Okay, you've been an adult for a long time. We've been adults for a while. All right, you see, you know what gotta be done, man. God damn. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24. Okay, and I started at 3. I started at 32. I mean, Matthew 24 and 32 says, "Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When his branches yet tender and put it forth leaves, you know that summer is nigh." Okay, so we know, all right, that judgment is nigh. Okay, so if you understand the concept of, the seasons, leaves fall, spring, and in the fall, then in the spring, things get greener and more plush. Okay, why? Because signs tell you what season you're in. You wouldn't even have to know the exact date, on the calendar. Okay, but you can know, all right, by what the patterns of the seasons, man. So when we see these certain signs, when you read this again, and read 33, it says Matthew 24 and 32 says, "Now learn a parable of the fig tree. When its branches yet tender and put forth leaves, you know that summer is nigh. So likewise, even when ye shall see all these things, you know that it is near, even at the doors." Man, we're here, man. We're at the doorsteps, man. Okay, Esau ain't got many moves left. Okay, this devil gonna have to go he gonna have to move that last chess piece, man. Okay, and get that checkmate, all right, from Yahweh by Shema shot. He gonna have to go ahead with his moves. Okay, this nigga's backpedaling and trying to stall. He's going, full fledged, but then he's trying to stall. No, the Lord forcing this nigga to go with his move, man. Okay, so he's throwing this thing together. Okay, you see, so we can see by the times, the talking points, the conversations, this devil when he speaks and what he's saying and read through the lines in the spirit, we know what time we in by the things that's happening and what this devil is prioritizing within this kingdom, man, and that's this AI infrastructure, man. Okay, which is setting the stage for making the MOT mandate, man. Okay, which is going to trigger a third world war. Okay, and we out of here, man. Jacob trouble in the midst of all that. Okay, so we see the signs, we know where we at, man. Okay, and everything is played out, man. This man has ran life into the ground. Okay, when you go to verse 34, "Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all these things will be fulfilled." And there's no doubt that we're in that generation of our Lord coming back. Yahweh Shai is coming back in this generation, man. Okay, isn't it getting close, man? All right, salvation is nearer than what we believe. It don't say that for nothing, man. You see? So we in that generation of these last few prophecies leading up to the coming of Yahweh Shai are going to play out, man. And everything is in place for it to play out. Okay, verse 35, "Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away." Okay, so this heaven, this rulership of Esau, even this is his heaven. It's going to pass away, and it's passing away as we speak. Okay, the nukes and Yahweh Shai just going to sweep this bitch off the map. Okay, and the earth and the earth shall pass away, which the earth in this condition. Okay, because this destruction is going to also cleanse. This fire is going to purify. The earth is going to, be refreshed. Okay, the earth is going to be reset in righteousness, man. Okay, removing the wicked rulership and being purifying from this toxic, polluted state that Esau has the earth in, man. It says, "But my words shall not pass away," man. Okay, the Lord's words are forever. So like he tongue twist. But The Lord's words are forever. What Yahweh Shema Shai, all right, has spoken is forever. And he has, and it's a forever kingdom promise to his people. And righteousness, man, that's not going to pass away. The kingdom after this is not going to pass away. You see, that's a topic within itself. But we're seeing this kingdom pass away, it's fading away. Okay? The holidays, weak as water, no life. Okay? Relationships, trash, full of scams and schemes. Everybody's plotting. Society, dysfunctional as hell. The job market, finished. The music, out of there. Food, out of there. You see? This place is fading away, man. It can't go on like this, man. The Lord has to intervene. All right? So I found this video dealing with the music industry, which, it's done. I don't listen to a bunch, of music. I listen to a lot of classical, some blues, Jake in the South Mississippi boy, So I listen to some blues and, when I do listen to music and some old school R&B, some classical, and I stopped listening to rap, for a while now. It's very, 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 very rare. I will listen to any rap. Okay, so I found this little video. All right, it said the music industry is collapsing. When there's prophecies as well. The daughters of music being brought low. Okay, and the devil has infused AI into everything. See, creativity is fading away. Everything is becoming so synthetic. All right, this technology is dumbing people down, taking away creativity and critical thinking. So this man is, he's just taking the flavor out of society, man. Because he has no flavor. See, he's making society bland like unto him. Okay, so I'm gonna play this, and it's just a sign of where we at, man. Everything is finished. Even like the Most High is making it easy, because what would you leave the truth to go pursue? What the hell would you leave the truth to go pursue, man? The Most High, he's closing up shop. Okay, so let's play this. All right.
I'm talking about AI artists. I'm talking about AI generated music. I'm talking about algorithms that are literally deciding what you see and hear before you even open the app. And honestly, it makes me ask myself, do people even care about the music industry anymore? Because I'm noticing a shift. Something is changing fast and nobody seems to notice. The industry is collapsing and it's happening right now. The other day, a friend of mine sent me a snippet on Instagram, and it was a song by an AI artist you might have heard about because she went viral a few weeks back. So let's talk about that for a second. There's this AI artist named Zanaya Monet who actually charted a few weeks ago. And I'm not talking about some small playlist placement. She literally appeared on multiple Billboard charts for R&B. And she also had one of the fastest growing digital singles on top of that. And yeah, she's a robot on Billboard. Actually, let me correct myself. AI. And this right here became a pretty big deal. A lot of artists in the music industry were speaking out. Most notably, singer Kehlani said,
"There is an AI R&B artist who just signed a multi-million-dollar deal and has a top 5 R&B album, and the person is doing none of the work. And it'll literally rewrite, re-sing in a country voice. Nothing and no one on earth will ever be able to justify AI to me."
And a bunch of other artists like SZA and Doja Cat pushed back against it as well. And here's the kicker. The artist signed a multi-million-dollar record deal, and the music has made hundreds of thousands of dollars at this point. And we already clarified that this isn't a real person, but technically it kind of is. The person behind it is a woman named Talisha Jones. She did a face reveal, kind of like the one I did back in August 2023, after the AI artist went viral to clear up what she called misconceptions.
You've revealed that all of these songs are about your life. What was the inspiration for that song?
So you got AI artists signing music deals. This place is finished, man. This place is done. Okay, this man's technology, all right, has ran people to the ground. Everything is saturated. That the quality of this society is at an all-time low. Technology is at an all-time high as far as convenience. and the quality of people is getting lower. Okay.
Two friends who dealt with miscarriages several times. And with me, I always write. So that's where the inspiration from that song came from.
And according to her, the things that this AI artist is talking about on this music are actually, these things are based on real experiences in her life. But she's not the one making the music. She's pressing some buttons on the software called Suno AI. So all of this music is generated through AI using the software called Suno, something that rolled out a few years ago and completely changed the landscape of the music industry. Suno is co-signed by people like Timbaland, who's literally a strategic advisor for the company, and I'm sure owns some stakes in the company as well. And Suno is currently valued at around $2 billion, which means AI music isn't just coming, it's already here. Now, all of this started a bigger conversation. What the hell is actually going on in music right now? Because honestly, a lot of this kind of ties back to what was happening during the TikTok era. During the pandemic, also known as the bandemic, because those stimmy checks were hitting like crack in the 80s, TikTok became the #1 outlet for music discovery, and it still is. Maybe Instagram is competing there. I guess, that's debatable. A lot of singers and rappers blew up during that era, and it was crazy to watch, right? TikTok completely changed how the general public consumes music. For the first time ever, the song became the background, and the content itself became the main event. And right now, content plus music is basically the #1 formula for success. But this is actually frowned upon inside the music industry because a lot of artists are realizing if you're not willing to be a content creator, your music won't be seen or heard. And that's a pretty somber reality. Like, I don't even know how else to word it. Music is content, but at the same time, music is spiritual. It comes from your heart. It comes from your spirit. It's not supposed to be manufactured out of necessity for an algorithm, or at least that's how I look at it. Maybe you disagree. But most people have already noticed the music industry as we know it is basically dead. So you know how in Call of Duty, there's this thing called free-for-all? Well, one of my friends, he called the modern day music industry a real-life free-for-all. Everything is controlled by a machine now. What artist pops up on your timeline, what songs get pushed into your Spotify algorithm, what YouTube recommends. All of it is determined by a system that's trying to predict what you'll keep watching and what you'll actually like. And, that's good from a certain perspective, but it's also bad from another, because this shift isn't just happening in music. It's happening everywhere. Real life is so chaotic right now. The economy, stress, cost of living.
And it's so easy for Esau to put plants, into the industry. These people that pop up, to push, agendas. These people, men and women artists just pop up. #1 this, #1 that, most this and most that, best artists, awards and money and a following is overnight. So this Esau Edom, with this technology, he's only using it for wickedness, man, to make people more demonic. Okay, to push more witchcraft, to push more enchantments. Okay, the concerts are nothing but rituals now. Okay, you see, if you want to be a artist, okay, you're signing up just to be a Satanist. Okay, you're signing up to be a junior warlock. Okay, and these people, these people are going to have to. This is going to be the first. That these people in this industry, man, they're going to be one of the first waves to take this C-hip, man, to continue on. All right, because their whole career is based on what? The digital world. Okay.
And I think the modern day music industry is kind of like a symbol for life as well, in a lot of ways. I've always believed that art and the commodified version we call the industry is a reflection of life itself. Music represents what's happening in the world and what people are responding to. I remember seeing a clip from the 90s where Prince talked about the rise of the internet, and what he said always stuck with me.
One thing I wanted to say is don't be fooled by the internet. It's cool to get on the computer, but don't let the computer get on you. Cool to use the computer, don't let the computer use you. You all saw The Matrix. There's a war going on, the battlefield's in the mind, and the prize is the soul. So be careful.
Prince was basically saying, don't let these devices use you. You use them. And that's how I see the current landscape in music and just in life in general. There are so many things trying to use us to keep our attention locked in on one place. And even right now, right? I'm doing it. I'm speaking in order to communicate something. And for you to get it, you have to focus on what I'm saying, which means I have to keep your attention. So that's exactly what's happening in the industry right now. What you're seeing now is a bunch of systems, engines, recommendation models, data-driven machines. And it's really sad because the bottom line always comes down to this. If you're not as visible and as on as possible, you're basically going to be forgotten. And this is something I've realized over the last 2 years, especially. A lot of the artists we say fell off, they didn't really fall off. They just stopped feeding what the machine wants. They stopped giving the algorithm exactly what it was hungry for. And interestingly enough, rapper Polo G, someone I still listen to till this day, said something the other day that fits this conversation perfectly. He basically talked about how the system keeps updating, i.e. the algorithm, keeps shifting, keeps forcing artists to figure out how to be seen through every new wave. They're constantly changing things within the system to work against us and play with our minds. But true talent and authenticity beats all that shit. And then he followed up with authenticity beats the algorithm. Never switch up on what makes you, you. And this message hits especially hard coming from someone like him because he's seen what it means to be favored by the machine. For anyone who doesn't know, Polo G had one of the biggest songs, or actually, rap songs, maybe even songs of 2021. He ended up getting a #1 record on Billboard barely 3 years into his career. But now he's not as big, he's not as poppin', not because he fell off, but because he took a long break and the landscape kept changing while he was gone focusing on his personal life. And when he came back, he wasn't feeding the general public algorithm anymore. He was feeding his fans. And you see this with so many artists. Even Lizzo, someone who was one of the biggest new pop stars in the world at one point, said something similar a few months ago.
Now that we are in the digital streaming age, there is no control over the algorithm. The way that the algorithm is set up, no one can serve the masses anymore.
And again, this is coming from someone who is actually successful, someone who understands how the...
And see, what we have to understand, these devils, they play with these algorithms, they play with the numbers, they play with the subscribers. A lot of people don't see, content, even from, when brothers put up content, the devil tries his best to suppress. Now the word, all right, it's going to do exactly what it needs to do. It's going to reach exactly what it needs to read, full faith in it, so what the devil can't stop, all right, this word from going forth. Okay, and we're not here for the numbers. We don't need to see big numbers, as we push, righteous content, because this the period content that's going out, the truth. Okay, but we see the left side losing, man. Okay, all these people finna lose, man. Everyone that destroyed themselves to try to make a career and be famous and be popular. No, man, everybody's going to podcasts. You see, everything in this world is a trend and a gimmick. When one person do it, everybody do it. Then it becomes saturated, and then they have to find something else, man. This place is becoming a desert. Everything is drying up. Okay, all the gimmicks are drying up. Okay, it's just one gimmick to the next gimmick. Creativity is gone. Authenticity is gone. Okay, substance is gone. All right, it's just the money gimmicks now. Okay, and then they just ran the culture to the ground. Okay, the model. You look at the NBA YoungBoy and Sexy Red as the male and female representation of the culture, man. It's over. It's over. Okay. Straight animals, man. Esau got to what Jake is barely a human, man. Okay. Barely can pronounce words. Women don't do nothing that women do. Is over. Okay.
This entire, this whole thing works as far as music, how things work behind the scenes. And this doesn't just apply to the music industry. It even applies to the platform we're on right now. A lot of my videos only reach a small portion of the people who are subscribed. And when I drop I get a, big video, a banger, I get flooded with comments from people saying, I didn't even see your last 3 uploads, man. What's going on? Did you stop uploading? I didn't even know you were active. I mean, there's still a huge chunk of people who don't even know I took the mask off. For anyone who's not in the knowing, I used to be anonymous on YouTube for like 6-7 years. But here's a silver lining in all of this. Even though the industry is changing in ways none of us expected, there are still a lot of artists building communities, people connecting with them, not because of the numbers or the algorithms, but because something in their music, their energy, their presence, and their persona hits. And honestly, it's not just about the music anymore. Like right now, everything is so far from just about the music. The music is more like the soundtrack to what the artist represents. Their story matters in the grand scheme of things more than ever right now. And I get it, the general consumer is confused. People think the quality of music is going down, but the truth is there's just so much of it now. So when you hear something that just ain't really good, something that, people would call mid, yeah, I guess this is how music just sounds nowadays. But nah, that's not really the case. That's just what you're being served on repeat. And once you realize that, it connects to something even bigger. The fact that the whole industry as we know it is falling apart in real time and nobody's really paying attention and nobody really cares. And the reason people don't notice it or really care is simple. People are dealing with real life shit.
And this is the main point of the video. Okay, this is the main point of the the video when he's getting into. See, vanity is all right becoming less important. There's a time when vanity was the end all be all to the society, but now things are getting real. Prophecy, okay, is putting people on notice. Prophecy is shaking shit up. Okay, so let's play this. This is the main point of the video. He's gonna get towards the end. All right, let's play this.
People are dealing with real life shit. Let me be blunt for a second. I just don't think people actually give a fuck like that because there are way more important things happening. The economy, job insecurity, rent, bills, stress, your girlfriend nagging you, or your boyfriend acting like a bitch. So, excuse my French, acting up. Life is lifing for all of be a part of my life. And this is how I look at it. The reason why you probably don't listen to most of the things that are coming out right now is because when you do find something you love, it's not just the sound, it's the way the sound makes you feel in the middle of all the chaos we're living through right now in these current times. Because let's be real, we're all in a tornado right now. I don't care if you're broke, I don't care if you got money. Life is stressing everybody in some way, and nobody's going to escape that. It's impossible. So when you zoom out, you start realizing these things in music aren't random. They're connected to everything else that's shifting around us, especially spiritually. I'm very big on that, especially now, more than ever.
Yeah, man. See, prophecy is shaking this place up. You see, you can't afford to, just be engulfed in vanity, man. You see, prophecy is bringing about a reality check. Okay? Because what he's talking about is prophecy, man. Okay? The job market, the grinding shall cease. Okay? He's talking about prophecy now. That's what's going on. It's prophecy. He said all that to get to the point of prophecy, man. You see? And in the same chapter, you're going to deal with these things. We're going to jump to it. And see, I think he says a few more things.
Our attention spans are...
And everybody want to be spiritual now. Everybody want to tap because they can feel something. Everybody, they don't know what's going on, but everybody wants to try to be spiritual and, be serious. And, prophecy is walking these people down.
Stress.
Trash. Okay. So let's go here. Let's get precepts. I'll make this super long. Just want to hit some points. All right, let's go here. Destiny 12. on, man. Now, when you go here, it says Ecclesiastes 12:1, it says repentance to you Israelites. Okay, the Lord has raised up the prophets. Okay, his mercy. And within this grace period, the Lord is begging, all right, his people to come back. Come back to him. Okay, because this music played a big part in separating us from our power. Okay, it just gradually kept getting more and more demonic, more violent, more lewd, toxic. Okay, so the Lord is calling unto his people. We know there's only a remnant that's going to take heed to that call. It said, while the evil days come not, before it gets bad out here, man. It's gonna get way worse than just catching hell coming into, man. It said, nor the years draw nigh when thou shalt say, I have no pleasure in them. Okay? Because life has become trash. Whether you're, just getting older and, or whether, because it's a mix of both. You once were into pleasure, man, because it's not there. They're trying to force excitement and the spirit of the holidays is not there. Okay. You see, it says, while the sun, all right, and the light or the moon or the stars be not darkened, nor the clouds, all right, return after the rain. Verse, this the point. It says, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, okay, which are the economists, because the economy is trash, because that's what everything routed back to when he, got through summing up the music industry. It went back to the economy, which is prophecy, the keepers of the house. Okay, and it says, and the strong men shall bow themselves, men that, because you have people going from upper middle class to middle, from middle to new class or upper poor, and people are falling, okay, out of social classes, man. There's people, because money is a defense, money is strength. So you have people that was once rich that are going broke in this economy, man. Okay, the strong men are beginning to bow themselves, man. Okay, it says, and the grinders cease because they are few. Yeah, the job market is shrinking, and those that look out the windows be darkened. Okay, it ain't looking promising, man. And whatever you want to do, you want to go to college, it ain't looking promising, man. You're just getting debt with no guarantee of a job. Okay, with no guarantee of a career. You want to do the music. Music is trash. Okay, ain't no money in it anymore. Okay, they got a few gatekeepers that they keep the illusion, okay, of this overnight success. They dangle that in your face with these gatekeepers, but ain't no money in it. All right, like it used to be. Okay, sports, everything is watered down and played out. Whatever you can think of is watered down and played out, man. So nothing is promising in this system anymore. It says, and the doors shall be shut in the streets when the sound of the grinding is low. That's the job market, these industries. And he shall rise up at the voice of the bird. Okay. People got hundreds of job applications, waking up early, with the expectation of a new job. Okay. That's where we at. This is prophecy. Okay. So people are waking up early, trying to find employment, but those jobs, they don't exist anymore. AI is taking them, or these companies are being consolidated, brought out, okay, to these major corporations. You see, it says, and all the daughters of the music shall be brought low. So all the daughters of music are being brought low, man, which the music is trash, man. Okay, the content is absolutely trash, man, but this is all prophetic. Okay, so prophecy, okay, is getting settled in. Okay, prophecy is settling itself in to this society, man. Okay, it's speaking, like he said, life is louder. Yeah, prophecy is speaking. Okay, Ezekiel 12:21 says, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, what is that proverb that you have in the land of Israel, saying the days are prolonged and every vision faileth? Okay, so there was a time, all right, when these prophecies wasn't speaking as much. It wasn't affecting people as much, and people took that to, downplay what we were saying, to, wave the hand and what was being said by the prophets. Okay, you can imagine, during the time, our apostles and elders first got on YouTube. Okay, 2007, and I think about what I was doing in 2007, man. We was out there. A lot of us were still out there, chasing, one of these vain dreams. You see, we didn't have no mind towards prophecy. Okay, it was youthful lust. Okay, but what we're seeing now is prophecy is starting to affect the earth. Okay, now these things are speaking. It said, verse 23, tell them therefore, thus said the Lord power, I will make this proverb to cease, and they shall no more use it as a proverb in Israel, but say unto them, the days are at hand, and the effect, you see, the effect of every vision. Okay, and this is where we at. Okay, the effect of every vision, everything prophesied that hasn't happened, all right, is gearing up to happen, and it's gradually having an effect on people day to day. Whether it's job loss, okay, whether it's loss of business, whether it's people are depressed, can't afford to live, okay, sickness. You see, whatever it might be, people are starting being highly affected by these visions now. By these see, the vision is speaking, and people are being highly affected by prophecy now. And they can feel it. They can't explain it, okay, but they can feel it. You see. So yeah, man, everything is over except the truth. Everything is done. The only thing that's all right, that's growing, all right. The only thing that's increasing, the only thing that's promising, all right, is these prophecies, man. Is the will of Yahweh Bashim Al Shai in the earth, man. A righteous kingdom is being established. In the spirit, man. You see, and the Lord has allowed us, the privilege, of investing in it. Okay, and this investment is getting ready to pay off. Okay, and if you bet on this world, you're finna lose like never before. And on the flip side, those that, the remnant of Israel, whom the Lord has allowed to invest in the kingdom, is going to win like never before, man. So that was the point. So Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sister edified. Till next time, I say shalom. Call me Ashala, Abba, soon.